Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. The goal of my YouTube channel is through my home cooking system, which is the fast cooking system that's flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and templates-based cooking, so that I can help you to make home cooking that is practical, efficient, and convenient. But also, I would like to make home cooking to be creative and fun. And when you achieve this, you know that home cooking will become sustainable. And to make home cooking fun, one of the questions a viewer asked me recently is that, would it be more convenient and more efficient if he has a more powerful burner? And he showed me this burner which produced 270,000 BTU, and that is a lot of heat. Now most people get the idea that more heat is better in stir frying, including myself. When I was growing up in Hong Kong, street food is very popular. And one of the most attractive aspects of street food is something called wok chi. And it's kind of almost a legendary thinking that street food tastes better because they use a lot of heat. And the heat capacity of street food is often very impressive. Not only they have a very powerful burner, but they sometimes also set the food on fire. And this definitely makes a wonderful spectacle. And I still remember eating street food, usually on weekends. A lot of people out on the street. Now today this approach is actually used quite frequently in commercial Chinese restaurants. And you will find that in Chinese restaurants as well as in videos that show how Chinese restaurants operate. At least in some of them, they have extremely powerful burner. And I can testify to that because during the years when I was a college student, one summer I worked in a Chinese restaurant. Now, we do not have the kind of fire and flame, but one thing we do have is that we have a powerful burner. And usually, it will allow us to cook a dish in a matter of 5 to 6 minutes. And it was a lot of fun. The speed is very important in a restaurant operation because if the faster you cook, the more you can able to serve to customers. Particularly during rush hours, you can get dishes out very quickly. And of course, from the owner's standpoint, they need to hire a fewer cooks because each of the cook can cook more dishes. I was pretty good at it, but I only cook a few limited dishes. I know exactly what I do. And one thing I can testify is that I have to adjust my firepower regularly because I do not want to get food burned. Now, when I start to cook in my home kitchen, I still under that impression. For a long time, I thought it's impossible to cook on a stove with a glass-top electric burner because that simply is not hot enough. And in fact, for a long time, I refused to cook on such a burner. And this impression actually is prevalent to lots of people. Many people on my YouTube channel wrote to me and said they find it not possible to stir fry because they don't have a gas stove or the stove is not powerful enough. Let me tell you that, in fact, all stoves are powerful enough by explaining what happened during stir frying. Stir frying basically include, you would call it 3 separate steps. The first step is that you want to get your oil as hot as possible because this is the highest temperature you can reach when you're doing stir frying. The oil temperature usually is defined by its smoking point. When the oil starts to smoke, you know it has reached its highest temperature. And that's why we want to cook with oil with the highest smoking point. The first step in stir frying is that when the oil is at the highest temperature, you will be able to sear your food ingredients. However, not all food ingredients need to be seared. Some food ingredients are much better to be seared, such as beef. Beef is an excellent example. Pork is also another example. Chicken is less so. In fact, shrimp, you probably do not want to sear it at all. Now, there are other types of foods that high temperature really help. For example, rice. If you cook fried rice, if you have a high searing temperature, the rice will be able to fry much readily. Similarly with noodles, certain type of noodles, particularly with rice thick noodles. There's a dish which is famous in street food is a thick rice noodles. In this case, the searing gives great temperature. Otherwise, you might end up having the food get burned. And some foods, burning them actually will reduce the quality of the flavor because it would taste burnt. Once you sear your food ingredients, which usually would be beneficial if you have a very high power stove. However, you can always achieve that. You can always bring the oil to this high smoking point and then you add the food ingredients. And of course, if you have a high power stove, it will continue to sustain that temperature so that it will keep the temperature high. But most of the time, once you start searing the ingredients, you want to lower the temperature. Because next step, you're going to add other food ingredients. Stir fry include addition of many different type of ingredients that we cook at the same time. And some of the ingredients will not benefit from high heat. Some ingredients, particularly even meat like beef. After the initial searing step, you want to lower the temperature because if you keep cooking at a high temperature, the beef will become tough. So dropping the temperature is an important part. So when you're stir frying, you will notice that as indicated in this set of video, the cook continually modify the temperature. Now, having a high powerful stove is very valuable because he can adjust them almost by will. However, at home, once your temperature drop, you will have a hard time to bring it back up again. So most of the time when I cook in the home kitchen, I will keep my burner setting at high all the time. Now, but that will not work if you're going to have a stove with BTU or over 100,000. Because if you keep the stove at its highest setting, you're going to burn your food. Another important consideration is the generation of oil film. If you have a highly powerful stove, the oil will turn into smoking point very rapidly. And this is what happened. A lot of people, when they cook at home, if they do not properly control the temperature of their oil when they heat up the oil, a lot of time they will complain because they set up their smoke alarm. So the more powerful stove you have, the more likely you're going to generate oil film. And if you do not pay attention, it quickly get out of control. And this will fill your kitchen with oil film. Now, in professional kitchen, that is not a problem because they have a powerful exhaust hood, and that will quickly exhaust the film to the outside. But in the home kitchen, it's not so easy. Now, you remember we season the wok with when the oil up to its smoking point, it will coat the surface of the wok and create a non-stick cooked surface, and it kind of gives you that greasy. Same thing will happen in your kitchen. Now, recently, study has been done and asking the health hazards of oil film. And now with number of studies have shown that overexposure to oil film can lead to potential risk of cancer. And for this reason, it is important for everybody to consider not to generate as much oil film, to limit this as much as possible. Furthermore, it is always advisable to cook under an exhaust film hood. Well, that is true for any type of cooking. But it comes to stir frying, it turned out to be even more important. So managing the amount of heat has a lot of things that go into it. Another one important part of that in managing heat, even in a conventional home burner, if your food sitting on the surface of the wok without being stirred, it is likely to get burned unless you adjust the heat to a lower setting. The stirring is going to be in proportion to the amount of the heat that you have. The more heat you have, the faster you need to stir. And this is the reason when it comes to professional kitchens, they frequently toss the food in the wok. Now, you notice that they do not actually toss the food, but they use the wok to slide it back and forth to mix the food. And instead of using a wok spatula, this is an efficient way. And they design their wok as well as the wok stove specifically for this purpose, which is something that you cannot do easily at home. But at home, you have much better control and you are not in a hurry as like you are cooking during a rush hour in a kitchen. So with this in mind, you can cook under almost any type of heat setting, any type of stove, any type of equipment, as long as you understand the different steps involved in stir frying. The first step is searing the ingredients. The second step is that to slow down the cooking to get to the doneness that you want. And the first final step is to adjust the flavor, and at this point a lot of time you turn off the heat completely. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. With the 4 attributes in flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and temperature-based cooking, it will help you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And so keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.